It is like a work of art. She has this thing all laid out so perfectly. She's got this outdoor entertaining space with these Italian string lights. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's a great hangout place in the evenings. We love to go down there and just sit around and have a cup of coffee. And
the garden has definitely been something that, I don't know, I've enjoyed. It's just a nice, peaceful kind of getaway.
It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Thursday, April 15th. We've got to check in with the Duggars. Yes, Jill, that is. We haven't checked in with Jill in a hot minute. Jill has been pretty vocal. She's been doing a lot in the last several months. She finally opened her mouth and she has been spilling all kinds of tea about her time on Counting On, as well as her estrangement with her family. We know through her interview on People and Q&As that she's done on her YouTube channel that there's a lot that happened between her and her family that has made it so that the relationship between her and her family isn't that great. She's also been super open about how she and Derek are in therapy and how therapy has been very critical in helping her heal from everything that she went through as a child, and to help with her and her husband establishing boundaries and having a safe space to talk about specific issues that happen in their marriage. I am so excited that she's doing this because this is not something that they typically do in the Duggar world. They're very not into psychological therapy. If you remember, when Josh had that stuff happen with his sisters, instead of opting for traditional mental health help, Jim Bob decided to send him to a work camp, and he couldn't really tell Megyn Kelly exactly where he sent him and what it entailed. So he only said that, there was not good outcomes for traditional centers. So knowing sort of the skepticism with psychology and getting traditional help, it's awesome to see that she's embracing therapy. She talks about it a lot on her Instagram. And while she still has quite a ways to go, it's awesome to see her taking steps to getting healthy and getting an understanding. Derek said one of the biggest things for her is understanding boundaries. She talked about boundaries and, learning boundaries and having boundaries and setting boundaries in her interview with Us Weekly. So I think it's awesome to see her working and doing everything that she can to heal from her past. Some of the things that she struggled with is like she didn't want to be filming Counting On after everything came out about Josh. She wanted to have a life more on her terms because she said the show really interfered with their plans as a couple and what they wanted to do. And she also didn't get paid. Now, she and Derek have been teasing that there's this book coming out, which they promise is going to explain sort of their side of things and what they've experienced and their life in the Counting On world and her life growing up on TV. And we're still waiting for that. Derek is actually in his third and final year of his law program, and he's going to be studying and sitting for the bar, I believe, this summer. So I'm guessing maybe after that, the book will be released. I'm not sure. We've got Ginger coming out with her book with Jeremy coming up in about 3 weeks. May 4th, I think, is when the book drops. And just so you're wondering, I did join the launch team so I can get an advanced copy and tell you all about it in the weeks to come. Okay, so Jill, knowing that she's going through all of this therapy, I saw this on Instagram and I was like, wow, this is so cute. And I thought it was a cute little nudge to her sister, maybe playfully and a little bit mocking of Jana and Jana's green thumb. Now, if you know anything about Jana, Jana absolutely loves to garden. On the show, they actually built her a greenhouse. And if you remember, they were so happy to build her this greenhouse. And it seemed like the kids were just ecstatic to do something for their mom. I mean, their big sister, but it's like their sister mom. And Jana actually showed some emotions and cried, which we don't see that side of Jana anymore, or haven't in quite some time. So it was a really sweet and tender episode. She posted on her Instagram about therapy that she's doing, and it revolves around the therapy of gardening. So on her Instagram, this is what she wrote. Some days you just gotta skip the nap and help mama out with the yard work. We're trying some new things with this year and hoping it will work. I'll update y'all later. LOL. I'm not my sister, but I'm pulling out my wannabe Jana Gaines, joking that she's like Johanna Gaines, but aka Jana Duggar skills and hoping for the best. She said, in the meantime, if you don't find me here as much, then you'll know where to find me. And she says, anyone else find it extremely therapeutic to garden? Yeah, that is once you finally conquer creating a secure space. Yeah, my fence building skills just aren't that great to keep the dog from tearing up the work that you've just. You guys, I just had this conversation with my husband about our dogs. Girl, I know it. Anyways, Jana actually interacted and responded by saying this. I love this. You'll do great, sis. It's so much fun watching things grow. And she says, thanks, sis. So I thought it was cute, one, that she kind of poked fun at Jana, and it was almost a way to kind of get Jana to interact with her on her Instagram. And I thought it was super cute that Jana responded in such a positive way. Now, Jill was spotted last week with Jessa, and so maybe there is some movement to help her maybe restore some of her relationships with her sisters, or not just maybe not restore them, but try to find maybe like a neutral space where they can have a relationship and it's not super like tense all the time. She said that some of her sisters can be kind of critical, or some of her siblings cannot always agree with some of her choices. But the thing about siblings is you don't have to agree on everything to still love each other. If we saw nothing of that, you know that, you know, when Katie Nakatsu's, or now Katie Duggar's brother, was interviewed by me, he did talk about how like, hey, we don't agree on the same things, we don't have the same values, but I still love her, she's still my sister. And if the Duggar siblings can come to that place with Jill, I think it would be amazing, while Jill can still hold the firm boundaries around her, maybe in regards to like her parents or perhaps Josh. So it's good to see the interaction between her. And I was actually thinking about gardening therapy as a way to help to soothe and calm the mind. Now, if you go through cognitive therapy or have a therapist, a lot of the times they will talk with you about finding activities that will help you relax and to feel like calmer. They suggest things like, I know in my therapy, they suggested things like doing meditation or yoga, drawing, painting, and gardening, because apparently it calms people. According to Garden Tech, it says that gardening has a rich history in the United States, and its therapeutic benefits are part of that. In the late 1700s, Dr. Benjamin Rush, a prominent physician and Declaration of Independence signer, documented that garden settings and digging in gardens were significant factors in recovery for patients with mental illness. Nearly 200 years later, the U.S. Horticultural Therapy Curriculum, established in 1972 as part of the mental health program at Kansas State University. Since that time, therapeutic horticulture and healing gardens have blossomed in the U.S., settings as diverse as hospitals, schoolyards, and prisons grounds. Sensory-oriented, plant-dominated, and packed with fragrance, colors, and textures. You know, it is true. There's something so calming when you are taking care of something and you are helping something grow. There's something, for me, I think of myself, there's something so satisfying about weeding. I don't know what it is, but it's so calming to me. I can like have a stressful day, and if I want to go pull some weeds, there's just something like that you get out of that. Like, oh, I'm getting rid of these weeds around my beautiful flowers or my beautiful plants, and I'm also like getting that tension out. And there's just something about working with your hands in the dirt. I don't know, I love it, but I'm not a good gardener and I have a black thumb, so you'll never see me actually like having a garden. If I do, I mean, I might, but things won't live. Anyways, I'm super glad to see that Jill's taking steps to do what she can to help herself. And it's great that she's finding outlets outside of just therapy, but also activities that will calm and soothe her mind. And it's just, to me, another sign that she is doing everything that she can to get better. She's recently been at 2 weddings with her family, and that might have added a little bit of stress to her life, because you know what? When you're around people that trigger you and make you feel uncomfortable or unsafe, it can definitely make you feel like you need to find stability and safety in yourself again. So perhaps she's also looking to do that by getting into the garden and having a place that's safe and beautiful for her and nobody else, and safe for her to curate and grow. There's something so like satisfying and therapeutic about all of that. So I'm really excited. I thought the joke to Jana was hilarious, and I'm glad to see that Jana is interacting with her. I don't know if that means that long term all of the sisters are going to get along, but you know, it's a journey, and we can always just hope that there can be some sort of restoration between all of them. No matter what happens with the Duggars, we want the girls and the kids to be happy. We can't control the choices in which their parents made. We can only try to find ways to encourage and support the girls and the boys from potentially not making those same mistakes. All right, you guys, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.